first agenda item, I would entertain a motion to approve the reappointment of Christina Ardeling to the Shiawassee Health and Wellness Board, appoint Josh Haley as an alternate to the ZBA, Cynthia Van Lake to the CCAD Board, and Brent Singer to the Parks and Recreation Board.
So moved.
Support. Moved and supported. Do we have any?
Just very briefly, every one of those were positions that we received one letter for, except for CCAB, that is a statutory position, and she is the new person replacing the previous MDOC person that's on there. She's an MDOC employee. This was the only item we had for finance, so I looked at your agenda.
Okay, who did we lose on Parks?
Connie Cobley was on there, and
Connie and Bonnie chose not to be reappointed.
Oh, okay.
and there's still one more vacancy, I believe, on Shiawassee Health and Wellness.
This, oh, because this is a reappointment.
Yep.
And
But
we
these
have
are, we didn't receive any letters today yet.
Health and Wellness is going to do some reaching out, possibly even a little advertising to try to generate a few letters. I told them that was fine, since we didn't get it.
And I know I had reached out looking for maybe somebody from one of our specialty courts.
That would be fine too.
Might give it a little different perspective, so we'll
It'd
see.
be nice to get a few applicants.
Yep. All right, I don't know why I'm looking that way. Anything else on this? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. By saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same, and that will move to tomorrow. Our next agenda item, I would look for a motion to approve the use of up to $35,000 from the Solid Waste Fund to fund 2 household hazardous waste collections in 2024.
Oh, double, sorry.
That's all right. Moved and supported.
Annual funding for the 2 collections. The first one will be held in Perry, and the second one will be at our Wausau location. Once again, it's a free service to our residents. It's very popular. Costs aren't increasing, so we raised it from 30 to 35 this year to make sure that we cover the cost of pickups. But that program will also be rolled into our materials management efforts as we go forward with the expansion of those duties. So, in case you went after dates, I'm not exactly sure.
They were in there.
But I know.
And did we do it in Durand?
Yep, we
This
rotate.
year?
We
Okay.
bounce back and forth between the 2 communities usually.
Okay.
It's a good program. A little bit of glass in our landfills, I don't think is a huge deal, but hazardous waste is very important. And it would be nice if we could get more people and households to bring their stuff in.
Sounds good. Anything else?
The Perry date is 5/11 and the Owasso date is 9/21.
Okay, so that May one's coming up. All right, anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. And that moves to tomorrow, which brings us to our last agenda item. I would look for a motion to approve the millage renewal as presented for Pleasant View, Shiawassee, County Medical Care Facility and place it on the August 6, 2024 ballot with any final review being made by legal counsel.
So moved.
Support.
So briefly, to address just a couple of things before I ask Shayna to speak on it. So this is a millage request. It's almost an extension versus a renewal. So originally, it was a 2 mil millage. Headley has reduced it back down, and it's now at 1.9679 mils. They're not asking to go back up to 2. They're asking just to carry on where they are at the current 1.9679 mils, which will generate about $4.8 million this year, which is more or less has been about the same amount that it generates every year. And one thing about the motion, Eric does need to add the DDA exemptions to it before it goes to Caroline's office, which is just some internal housekeeping that needs to be done, but the rest of the motion is fine, or the rest of the language is fine as prepared by Shayna's legal counsel.
Okay. I'll just add again that this is a renewal. As far as I can tell, it's been in place since at least 1996, so we're extremely thankful to the community for their support. It really gives us a strong ability to focus on quality for our residents and our staff, and to focus on service lines that are needed in our community. As you know, we recently started dialysis for residents right at Pleasant View, and Dr. Boggs mentioned a couple months ago, we're looking at a need to expand to continue to meet the needs of our residents. So this is not an increase or an addition to meet that expansion, but having the support of the community allows us the ability to explore those opportunities. So I'm very thankful to the community and just wanted to add a little bit of detail to that. So, and if there's any questions.
I'm good.
Thank you.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed the same, and that will move along to tomorrow, which brings us to our second call to the public. Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Meeting will be called to order. Please stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you for attending the Public Safety and Courts meeting. This is our first call to the public. Hearing none, we'll move to our agenda items. I'll look for a motion to accept the tentative agreement between the 35th Judicial Circuit Court Association contract and Shiawassee County and authorize the chair to execute the final agreement.
So moved.
Support. Discussion.
So largely the contract is mostly the same as it was previously. The Circuit Court Association has accepted the wage study, which is what they'll be paid for. There is a ratification lump sum of $500, which is the same thing that we did for AFSCME. So essentially it's the same contract. Now the courts do have more bargaining power to work with the court employees themselves directly, such as the chief judge. So the things related to sick time and nature were up to him to make those decisions, which are reflected in there. And then the parties agreed that the employer's proposal conceding election day as a holiday, which, as you remember, was added a couple of years ago by the chief judge, and they have removed that now in this unit, or this contract. It also includes our change for the high drug cost, high prescription drug cost condition.
Okay.
It's essentially the same as ASPE's.
Excellent. Further discussion? All in favor of moving this on to Wednesday, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item B, I look for a motion to approve the replacement of the walk-in freezer for the jail in an amount not to exceed $11,885 from the jail trust account.
So moved.
Support. Discussion.
They have a walk-in freezer that stores their food. It failed. This is being replaced from their commissary fund. It's not from the general fund. It's the cost of the freezer.
Okay. No discussion. All right, all in favor of moving it on to Wednesday, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. This brings us to our second call to the public. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Very much.
Now, are you gonna be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I have been, talking to Greg
Uh-huh.
about